welcome back to the Peril Palette. I'm your host Rudy, and let's get back into it. The last video, if you guys recall, I sprayed the Tiamat dragon with a gloss varnish, and that's to make it easier to put these oil washes into the recesses. I originally was planning to use some acrylic washes, but I got convinced. I was like, you should try to use some oil washes. They tend to be a little bit quicker and easier to use in this particular context. So I'm using raw umber here, and I had some other black oil paints, but I was told that you want to put on some cardboard so it will soak up some of the oil to make it easier or faster to dry. Now next I'm adding some mineral spirits, odorless mineral spirits, and this is essentially to make the main medium to put those oil washes. I was told you should probably put the approximate amount of the mineral spirits to make the wash. And as you can see here, I'm just trying to add a little bit of this raw umber at a time. First, a little bit here. I'm not really liking the consistency. I think I did about 2 or 3 tries just to get this like really nice consistency that looks similar to the Citadel Agrax Earth Shade. So when I first applied it, I could definitely see why oil washes are recommended. If I was to use like Agrax Earthshade, it might be like a filter, so it might turn some of the reds a little bit more darker. But the oil wash just goes right into the recesses, and it's really amazing how quickly and easily it was to apply. As you can see here, I was trying to go around the edges of the wings because I didn't want to get on like the membranes of the wings, but I made a mistake here, and I was like, oh, I wonder what happens if I would put the wash and the entire membrane. And as you can see here, I was really surprised and impressed. Like, the Rescale miniatures really did an amazing job of this model. So when I was applying the oil washes, it was just stunning to see how beautiful the textures were coming on with these washes. Now, even though I was done with painting the entire model, which did not take long, as you can tell, there was quite a bit of a mess that I made. So, and I didn't want to put all that wash into the entire model, so I was using the white spirits again and using a makeup sponge to try to take some of it off. And the advantage of putting the gloss varnish on top of the original model, or what I painted so far, is kind of like a save point. So all I have to use is the white spirits and the makeup sponge to take off whatever wash I didn't really like to see. And I was only using some makeup sponges for the large part, but I was using some smaller ones for the smaller piece and trim of details as well. And as you can see here, I took a break here to try to take a look at the model after wiping off some of the white spirits and extra washes, and I was really impressed how quickly and easily to get some really, really cool effects. I think putting on the wash itself took maybe a few minutes, even though like the preparation time took a bit longer, including the drying time. I think to dry the gloss varnish, it probably took like a day or so, but the washes took maybe minutes. It did not take long, and the results really, really look amazing. And the next day I tried to do dry brushing again to try to bring up some of the colors. Someone asked on a Facebook forum, like, hey, where did you get the foam to do the dry brushing? And it's actually just an old Citadel figurine foam case insert. And then I'm just using your normal air paints to apply the dry brushing layers. And you'll see the little green holder for the paint was meant to like make sure it doesn't spill. There's obviously some foreshadowing the reason I'm talking about it. But again, using the dry brush palette to try to add a little bit of color back into the model. And I'm mostly trying to take off some of the gloss sheen, but try to bring back some of the color when I'm doing this. And if you notice here, I spilled some of the paint on my mat while I was working with the Tiamat model. I physically knocked that bottle over. I didn't want it to lose that creative energy, so I just ended up using that paint along with some different dry brushes to continue on with my work. So I was like, well, I already spilled the paint, might as well use that paint I already spilled to continue on with the model. Now, this next section was meant to be a continuation of the dry brushing, but I wanted to talk about like creative momentum because as I was recording these same pieces, you can see I'm using different greens again, but I felt like I was filming the same thing over and over again, and I thought it was being like a little derivative or a bit repetitive, so I was worried about losing creative energy. So obviously I wanted to share you all the colors that I used to help dry brush the face of the Tiamat dragon, but I also wanted to let you know, like, hey, I was really having difficulty trying to figure out what to do next. So I know that I probably want to re-explore the underbellies of these heads, but I didn't want to go make too much commentary of like, hey, I'm doing the same dry brushing technique for all the Tiamat heads. So of course I'm going to show it to you, but I really was having difficulty like trying to find something new to present to you guys. So as I was painting and recording, I was trying to think of different things that I wanted to do to make it more interesting. I still had a little difficulty trying to put it together. Some of the ideas that was popping to my head was maybe telling stories about the Tiamat dragon that I'm learning about the model or the dragon itself. Maybe certain techniques or certain things that I was thinking. But in the end, I really just wanted to document what I was trying to do here. In this case here, I'm trying to decide like, okay, as I'm dry brushing, I'm using different colors. What colors are popping out a little bit more? Do I need to even, use freehand to try to do more of the face details? Because, usually the faces of the models are the ones that people look at. So yeah, I'm dry brushing all of the faces, but I'm kind of using this as kind of like a preemptive blocking. Like, okay, while I'm dry brushing here with each of these lighter colors, let's take a look at what features of the face I need to look at. And I don't mean like the easy ones like the teeth or the eyes. I'm thinking like, hey, are there any scales or like that little bone protruding from that person's forehead or that Tiamat dragon's forehead, or the horns? Is there anything that I need to look at that really I need to take a more detailed approach to it? And now for the glorious state of incompletion. I still haven't figured out what music or way to present the final model when it's finished, but like the model itself, it's still a work in progress. Despite that, I'm really happy of how the model's looking so far. The oil recess washes look great. The dry brushing has really helped me, I got to think about what I want to put on the faces of each one of the Tiamat dragons. I'm also happy of how the recess washes have helped me blend some of the colors together, like this talon. So I'm very happy with where it's going so far, and I'm really looking forward to the next step of the model. Well, in any case, that's all I have for today. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.